So we're going to have an interesting presentations from Dennis from GEOLYTIX, and a little bit of food for thought there around essentially again the implementation of an open source OSGeo project, and more specifically around the XYZ map project. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Hi, I'm Dennis. I work at GEOLYTIX. I want to talk today about the OSGeo community and how it helped us in the project. So I'm the principal architect. I work as a solutions engineer for GEOLYTIX, and we've been building myself for the last 10 years the XYZ map project. Although I've been in the industry for close to 30 years now, and I've been in all aspects. I've been a user of GIS, I've been a GIS developer, I worked for proprietary companies, did GIS in the army, I built pipelines, I did water risk in Mexico. So I have a lot of experience in using GIS and have a lot of not great experiences with proprietary software. And so when I founded this project, it was clear from the beginning it has to be open source, and I only ever want to work in the rest of my career in open source software. So it became our community project. And why did we make the decision, or why did I make personally the decision that it has to be open source? Even though we are a commercial company and we make good money. So that project sells year on year more than £1 million just for software services. But we're not making money with that. We're a data and consultancy company. And why do we do it open source? Our competitors could use the same software. Well, I hope they do it. The benefits outweigh the risks. And so what's the biggest risk? The bus factor is the biggest risk. When I started it, I was on my own, and if something happens to me, I live in London, the bus comes, it rolls me over, the project is dead. So that's the legacy aspect. Then the other aspect is, the very big aspect for me is attracting talent. As I said, a big project you cannot do on your own, and you need to find people who are invested in it, not because they want to make good money, but they want to build great software. And so you gotta have to go out there, you gotta have to show the software, and you have to build guidelines. And that's where OSGeo helps us. So since it's open source, it's all there on GitHub. And open source helps us with this. Like the OSGeo community, we're using the development guidelines from open layers, and as all the communication is there. So if a feature is there, it's discussed in the open, anybody can contribute. And we're looking at what the other teams are doing if they are open source. So that's where the dogfooding comes in. So dogfooding is basically using your own software. As I said before, I worked with a lot of software, and I was a paid for aggravated user. In the companies where I worked before, I had no decision on the software I use, and I was not happy with the software I use. Now, I don't want to be in that position now where I make software which a business manager sells to another business manager, giving to their people working for them and have them use the software, and I don't get any feedback. So I use the software I'm writing every day, and so does the company. I mean, all of our clients, but not our clients, all of our analysts, they use the software and they give me direct feedback. And we also get feedback from the clients who use the application interfaces. Something I do at the moment for like the map November. So I do the Friday map, or Sunday map, which is all about circles. So I did this completely with the software written in JavaScript to generate a map. And it helps me because I see it and like, oh, why does it work like this? Why is this slow? How can I improve the styling? It's all about the developer experience. And by really using the software every day helps to make better software. As I said, services, internal use of services is great. So there's like this API manifesto with Jeff Bezos said, where he said, all the departments, all the engineers in the company have to talk with each other through the interfaces. So that means data interfaces, but it also means like interfaces for developing environments. As I said, all of the communication with our engineers is through GitHub, through an open forum. So that means there's respect, there's no repetition, new team members join, they can get up to speed, which we have done over the last couple of years. Obviously, we would use different wording than Jeff Bezos because it's OSGeo community and we have standards. Talking about standards, Alan Cooper, the creator of Visual Basic, he wrote this book, The Inmates Are Running the Asylum, Why High-Tech Products Drive Us Crazy. He's a developer and you should think, well, obviously I'm with him on this, but no, I'm not with him on this. Because basically he said that developers have too much say in how products are designed. And I haven't read the book because from the outset, I cannot agree with him. And so these are just some of the chapters of the book, and you can get the idea what he is all about. And for example, he talks about Parkinson's law, where all the work expands to the time available. Well, I might say he is more a Peter Principle guy. He was a developer and then he became a middling technologist. And I don't want to follow in these steps and I'm quite happy being a developer. The book, though, I heard is very good in some comparisons and funny puns. For example, I like the dancing bear. I heard it before, I didn't know it was from him. What he calls bearware is dancing bear software. It doesn't dance well, but it's a miracle that it dances at all. So basically, where I want to go down to is with, I believe developers should control the software they are making. And that's where forums and community come in. Because let's face it, I'm not working for a specific user in mind. The people here in the room, other open source developers, my peers, they are my users because I'm writing application programming interfaces. And that's basically not the computer programs itself, but other developers. And I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So we're using open layers, Leaflet, MapLibre, Tabulator, Chart.js, whatever is out there to write open source software, we use it. And we do it with internal reviews. So as I said, we're not looking for money. For us, the OSGeo community is about feedback and best advice. So security, for example, that's a very sensitive topic. And so we, from the beginning, said, okay, we build a very secure software, which you can also run public. Starting the other way around, being public and then adding security later would be a nightmare. As I said, it's only a very short talk, an opinion piece. So basically, I think, yes, the inmate should run the asylum. Open for questions.
So, any more thoughts, any more questions for Dennis while we set up the next presenter, Alistair? Any questions? I'm sure we can have a chat with you, Dennis, at coffee break. So I don't need to pretty much. Oh, there's one. Go on.
Thanks, Bennett. Just a quick one. Are there any specific suggestions about how we should get the inmates to run the asylum from the point of view we've been talking about today? What specific things do you have in mind?
Yeah, well, as I said, feedback is important. So we are not looking for money. We're looking for people who just like read documentation, make suggestions. We are a consultancy. That's why I said, for example, features for us work in this way. A company wants a feature. If it's a nonsense feature, they pay 10 times more. If it's a great feature where other people can benefit from, they pay nothing at all. And same as for everybody else. If you come and say, oh, this is a great idea for a feature, and I say, yeah, sure it is. Either you could do it yourself, or I do it because I think it's a great feature. So community, just be on there, read what's out there, spread the word. I mean, that's what it's about for us. And hence it was a bit difficult, OSGeo community. So thanks to you, because I tried to make it an OSGeo project for about 6 years, but it was always this, well, you work for a company and the company sponsors all the development, and then, yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22. I mean, how can we get to community if we're not part of the community? And we observe all the rules. Yes, we don't have many contributors from outside, but how can we get them if we are not out there and advertise and ask for your contribution?
Yeah. Thanks.
Brilliant, thanks.